Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everyone. It's me Ihsanullah, lecturer in English, Peshawar Model Degree College for Boys, the Razak Road, Peshawar. Today, the topic of discussion is general rules of active and passive voice. In this short lecture, we will discuss what is voice, what is the general meaning of voice, and what is voice in grammar point of view. What is active voice? What is passive voice? Why do we need passivization? General rules of active and passive voice. So let's discuss them one by one. The first one is what is voice? So in general meaning, the voice means when a person speaks, so his larynx produce a sound, a voice in the form of speech, which is known as voice. The sound produced in person larynx and uttered through the mouth is speech. That is the general meaning of it. So, what is voice in grammar point of view? In English grammar, we have two types of voices: active voice and passive voice. Active voice and passive voice, these voice determines whether the subject is the actor of an action or it is the receiver of an action. If it is the receiver of an action, so we say that it is passive voice. And if it is performer of an action, we say that it is active voice. Voice is the form of a verb takes to indicate whether the subject of the verb performs or receives action. There are two types of voices: active voice and passive voice. What is active voice? A sentence is said to be in active voice if the subject performs an action. Like, for example, if I say Ali plays football. Now, Ali is the subject and he is performing an action of playing football in this sentence. So, this sentence is what? An active voice. A verb is said to be an active voice when the subject performs the action. In most English sentences with an action verb, the subject performs the action denoted by the verb. For example, the dog jumped onto the boy. Example shows that the subject is doing the action. Dog performs the action, that is jump. What is passive voice? Passive voice is a quality of a verb that describes when the subject of a sentence is acted upon by the verb. Means when the subject does not perform an action but it receives the action, then we say that the sentence is in passive voice and the subject is in passive mood. A verb is said to be in the passive voice when its subject does not perform the action of the verb but has the action of the verb performed on it. As I said, it will receive the action, it will not perform. For example, the bridge was blown up by engineers. Now, who are the actor in this sentence? Engineers are the actor, but it is not the subject. The subject is what? The bridge, and bridge is not performing any action. Was blown up is what? That is the passive verb. So, therefore, we can say that passive voice is the form of sentence in which a subject does not perform an action but it receives the action of the verb. Why do we need passivization? Like, for example, someone may ask you that if we can write a sentence in active voice, so then what is the need to convert it into passive voice? So, there are certain reasons. The first one is what? The first one is when you want to keep the subject deliberately hidden or secret. Like, for example, the flowers are being plucked. Now, in this sentence, we haven't mentioned what? We haven't mentioned the subject because we want to keep him or them hidden. So, that is the reason. And the second thing is what? Sometimes we may not know who has plucked the flower. We don't know about it. When you do not know about the subject, so therefore, then you will use what? Passive form of the sentence for it. So, in English grammar, Passivization is transformation of a sentence from an active form to passive form when we do not want to reveal the subject or we don't know the subject. When we don't know the subject or when we deliberately do not want to reveal the subject, so we use what? Passive form of sentence. When we want to emphasize the receiver of the action means object. Sometime, like for example, we want to focus on receiver of the action mean the object, so therefore we make it what? Subject. Ali broke the chair. In this sentence, focus is on Ali, not on the broken chair. But when we convert it into sentence, we want to focus the broken chair. So we will make it what? The subject. The chair, Ali broke the chair, so the chair was broken by Ali. Now the chair is important, not Ali. So emphasis is given to chair in this sentence. So therefore, when we want to focus something in a sentence, we will make it what? Subject of the sentence, and the sentence would be converted into passive voice. And a third reason, which is not like you may say a very high or well reason, but in my thinking, sometime a writer may use passive voice for the beautification of his language. What are the general rules for converting a simple sentence into passive voice? The first thing, which is compulsory, the sentence must have object and transitive verb. If the verb is transitive and it has what? An object, then you can convert it into passive voice. Object of the active sentence become the subject of the passive sentence. That is the first thing. Object will become subject and subject will become object. Helping verb according to the tense is added, and after the subject you have to add a helping verb auxiliary according to the tense and subject. In passive voice, always third form of the verb, past participle is used. By is added, and after by there would be a pronoun change. Mean subjective case of the pronoun will be converted into objective case. Like he would be converted into him, she would be converted into her, they would be converted into them. These are the general rules. Examples: Ali plays football. Now apply these rules on this sentence. Football is what? Object, Ali is subject. So Ali will become object and football will become subject. So football is why we will use is because the sentence is present simple or present indefinite tense it is. So therefore is would be added because football is what? It is singular, and third form of the verb is played. By is added and Ali will become object. So football is played by Ali. She broke the chair. The chair was broken by her. He has plugged the flowers. The flowers have been plugged by him. So I think from these examples, the idea of active and passive voice will be cleared. And if you have any question, any query, so you are more than welcome. That is enough for today. In the next lecture, we will discuss active and passive voice in detail, sentence tense wise. Thank you.